Tonight, I want to tell a story about one of my favorite local legends, the Purple Church of Oklahoma. I've actually been there, but let me give you some context on this legend and setting before I get into anything else. It may not be the flashiest state, but Oklahoma itself has its own wide variety of history, from its direct Native American roots to the Black Wall Street in Tulsa before the tragedy, as well as the strong presence of the farm and cowboy lifestyle. Don't get me wrong, Oklahoma has grown into a modern place, especially with the inclusion of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I've seen the growth here, and the progress of development here since 2008 has actually been pretty impressive. One thing that hasn't changed, sometimes for better or worse depending on who you ask, is the presence of religion here in the Sooner State. Oklahoma is a full-blown primer in the Bible Belt. Churches are everywhere in Oklahoma, whether you're driving down the main streets or through the neighborhoods. It's not uncommon to see churches bunched together, only separated by parking lots as well. No matter your Christian denomination, the only thing that is certain is that there isn't a shortage of places where you and your family can find service. With all of that said, you may soon understand why the legends of the Purple Church are so frightening to the residents near and around this location. First and most importantly to any prospective investigators, understand this is private property and that the owners do not tolerate people randomly showing up on their property. If you decide you want to explore this place, please try and seek permission, but I would recommend leaving the place alone as a whole. This is someone's home and property and land. Now, the Purple Church is located in Spencer, Oklahoma, which is an immediate suburb of Oklahoma City and is located just to the east. Spencer itself is a mixture of small businesses and private property that's been typically owned for a long time. We actually used to play Spencer schools when I was in high school. I went to Southeast, which is located in South Oklahoma City. Now let's dive into the legend itself. What stands there now are the remains of what was once a church. It's now a basement-looking cellar where the church used to stand overhead, as it's been demolished. The rumors of the legend started when a 16-year-old supposedly took the lives of his whole family. The supposed violent teen was a leading force in originally turning the church into a place where satanic worship occurred. From there, it was said that on nights when the sky is illuminated by a full moon, that ritual offerings are made to the devil through human sacrifice. There have been multiple reports of people being chased by figures in robes, and there have also been numerous reports of folks being chased by a truck with no headlights. However, the being chased by a vehicle may just be the property owners, as it's not unusual for them to catch people on their property, hoping to investigate the haunting allegations. The name Purple Church comes from the use of the purple spray paint, which has been used to tag the site with cult symbols including pentagrams and deathly warnings. It's now said that when people have managed to get permission to visit, that they've dealt with scratches, forceful touches, and horrifying noises. That context is enough to find why a place dominated by Christianity would find discomfort with this legend. The rumors of satanic worship are a direct opposition to the typically religious communities that surround this place. People in Oklahoma reserve Sundays for church service and relaxation. It's still common to this day to see small towns almost shut down completely on a Sunday in favor of their religious practice, and the places that do open, well, they may only do so for a couple of hours during the afternoon. Finally, let me tell you about my experience. When I was a high schooler almost 20 years ago, my girlfriend, who was older than me at the time, talked me into going out there. So I had to step up. Younger guy has to impress his older girlfriend in high school, so it was a challenge I welcomed. It wound up being her, a couple of her friends from work, along with me and a close friend of mine. We take off from the city, and we get there sometime after 11 p.m. It was very rural, felt that way at least. It was the summer of 2005, a Friday night, and sometime in late July. We park our cars and we start walking through a tree line. We make it there a few minutes after walking and pushing through shrub. And upon shining our flashlights at the entrance, we see a rope hanging. But it wasn't in the shape of a noose, and there wasn't anything hanging from it, fortunately for us. We didn't go down inside, but we could plainly see there was graffiti everywhere, and yes, it did include satanic and devilish stuff. I'm a skeptic, okay? I don't necessarily believe in the paranormal, but that's actually what drives me and fascinates me when it comes to such cases and legends. I'm open-minded, and I'm always looking for evidence or proof of the unexplainable. The one thing that did stick out to me that night, though, was this. When we were walking back to our cars, it felt like we stepped through a quickly drifting wall of cool air. It wasn't a cold breeze or anything of that nature. It was just a small patch of cool air. Everybody felt the sensation, so I know I wasn't hallucinating or being hypersensitive. That's it though. No cult members, no mutilated animals, no demons, no ghosts. Thankfully. However, it was a very unsettling place. I will not deny that. It's rural and tucked away, so anybody looking to worship or do harm even could easily do so without being noticed. I want to emphasize again though that this is somebody's privately owned property and I absolutely do not recommend going onto their land without permission. I repeat that, please do not impede onto their land without permission. It's illegal and more so just disrespectful. Now, I know my personal experience wasn't exciting, but I felt the context was great for the story. With all of that said, if you're in Oklahoma, or maybe have heard of the Purple Church, I wouldn't recommend it as your next place of worship. Thanks for watching. I hope you found a bit of entertainment in this tiny rabbit hole about cults possibly practicing right outside of Oklahoma City. Please come back and more so, enjoy the rest of your night.